Hello, it is Nicole and Nickolas here to talk to you about our amazing race. We started out today, there were 16 teams on the website, but 14 at the race, and we got to be released in order of how much we raised. And we raised $585, and we were the fourth place team. So first place got to leave, 30 seconds later, second place got to leave, 30 seconds later, third place, etc. And so 2 minutes after the first place, we got to leave. And our first one sent us right. We started out at shelter number 6 right here. And our first one was right at the beginning. And we had to do a 20-question quiz on child abuse in North Dakota. And we couldn't leave until we got all the answers right. And I think we did pretty smoking good. We cruised pretty fast on that one. And then we were supposed to go to shelter number 2. Well, Mom thought shelter number 2 was down here. She was reading the map upside down. So we went all the way down to almost shelter 9 and then realized it wasn't. So we had to go all the way back to shelter number 2, which is the far north last shelter. There we had to do an origami crane. Nick, how did that go?
It was hard because there was no dots.
There were no dots on our lines like there was in the directions, and we don't like to read directions, and so we timed out on that. You had to work on it for 10 minutes max, and so 10 minutes they finally let us go, and we had a very sad-looking crane. And then we cruised down to the volleyball courts, the sand volleyball courts, and they had 14 plots of 10 by 10, 10 feet by 10. And so we had to go to our plot number 4 and try to find a marble in the sand. How did that go, Nick?
It was really hard because we probably did hit the marble, but we probably buried it again.
Yeah, it was hard. I even have blisters on my knees. I don't know how, but that was not fun. So we had to search for 15 minutes, and we didn't find it. So then we had to have a sit and wait for 5 minutes for a penalty. So then we got to cruise over to one of our favorites. We cruised on over to right over here to the amusement park, and we had to hit 3 out of 10 over the fence in the batting cage, which was no problem. And then we got to go over to our very favorite, the water balloons, and we had to launch 5. Each of us got to launch 5, and we had to hit 5 on top of the other partner. How'd it go, Nick?
Well, everything went good except I missed a shot, but at the end, when my mom was out and she started walking, I shot one and I nailed her right in the head.
Yeah, he nailed me really good, and so they let us go on his one miss because that one made up for it. Then we had to go over here to number 8 and find an orange egg, and we looked all over and we couldn't find any eggs, and then we saw some remains of a couple plastic eggs, and we're like, they're up high in that eagle nest. And so I lifted Nick up and he found our egg. And then after we did that, what did we do?
We put the remaining eggshells that were left on the floor and we threw them up on top of the egg's nest so no one would knew to check up there.
Yeah, we didn't want others to have that same clue, so we threw them up with all the other ones. And then we cruised down and we had to ask a stranger, "Are you courageous?" until we could get our next clue. And then that brought us down here. Or are you with courage? That's what we were supposed to say. And then we had to do yoga, and it was probably 7 different poses in order that we had to memorize and repeat back. And between the two of us, we did a great job remembering, didn't we, bud?
Yep.
Got anything to say about that?
No, it's just I'm pretty sure if I wasn't there, my mom would have forgot over half of the poses.
Oh, okay. He saved us on that one. Then we had to go down to the tennis court, and that one was easy. We just had to look under all the seats there to find our clue. And we found our clue, which took us all the way over here to the Riverside Elementary School, where we had to kind of do a hot shot thing around the world, make 6 shots. And we couldn't leave until we did that. And we did okay. Had a hard time with the 3.1, but other than that, we cruised. And that led us over to Kiwanis Park, where we had to put a puzzle together. And we had a Marvel Comics puzzle.
Yeah, Avengers.
Yeah, and it was pretty hard. And there was I can't remember if it was 10 or 15 minute time limit, and we didn't make it.
Because there was 100 pieces.
It was a 100-piece puzzle. It was pretty hard. We didn't make it, so then we waited till our time was up. We went over to this rope tower thing, and Nick just flew up that and got our our flag with the last clue in it. And then we cruise back, all the way back, right there, and we were done. We finished 6th place, which I think was absolutely awesome. We would like to thank all the people who supported us. URL Radio, Nicole Morrison Mathern, the Svains family, Pamela Newstall and Chad Herman, Stephanie, there we go, Stephanie Sandstrom, Carrie and Mike Wolf, Lindsay Bowman, Wendy Moen, Melanie Carvel, Marlo Anderson, Nicole Benedict, Raquel Jessen, Janelle Knutson, Lisa Hoynes, Pam Wolf, and Mary Swingle. Thank you guys so much for helping us support the North Dakota Children's Advocacy Centers and helping with child abuse and child abuse and neglect in the state of North Dakota. We appreciate it. Thanks.